Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com, and there is a look at some of the products or stamp pads that we're going to be using today. We have two new in colors, the Lemon Lime Twist and the Berry Burst, and we're going to be making a very fun card with birthday blossoms, iconic icons, I think it's called, Thank for Life, and Back to Basics alphabet, and that was iconic occasions. There is kind of my prototype there. Didn't like the colors very much, so I decided to swap them out to the more happy, cheerful ones. I'm going to be bringing in my Misty, and all the measurements and everything, it's going to be on my blog. That is a cement gray piece of cardstock by MFT Stamps. I was going to use Smoky Slate, but my ink pad was too juicy, so I swapped out to that since that was the closest color. Right now I'm just sizing up my sentiment from the iconic occasions, and that is a Thankful Life. That's a 3-step stamp process, and that's how I got that bouquet. At the very top, there's little arrows, and you want to keep those towards the top and find yourself a point of reference to line up as you're stamping so you do get that perfect stamp there. I have a little mask for my face just to kind of help me line up a little bit what I need to do, where to put my image and everything like that. So there's the tick mark that I'm making to where I know where to point my arrows when I go ahead to stamp the rest. That's going to be laid down in the, looks like Lemon Lime Twist. That is my greenery. Since I haven't used that stamp set before, it's kind of sticky. It's going to stick to your paper. So you just want to be real careful. Make sure that you have your cardstock in the Misty butted up against the corners so it's easier for you to put your image panel back in and realign it when you need to. So here we go with the ink. And with all of this, I ink it up twice. Because I like my images to be very crisp and clean and everything like that. So here we go down putting the Lemon Lime Twist. And that really is a fabulous color. You're going to love it. I'm having a hard time putting it down. That with Berry Burst is just going to go viral crazy. So now I have to figure out something else since everybody else is going to be doing it. And if your ink pad comes to you like that, like mine did, call demonstrator support, ask for a new one. The way I see it, if I'm going to buy a new ink pad, I want it all the way inked up rather than using my re-inker. So we're going to go ahead and move to the second level of the stamp set here, of the Thankful Life. And it doesn't say 1, 2, 3 like a lot of them do, if I recall, but it's easy enough to look on your greenery and to line it up and, again, keep that tick mark. And you can see how perfectly I have my flowers lining up from top to bottom, left to right, all the way through. And I do believe we're going to be using Berry Burst. Remember, I filmed this 3 weeks ago. So I'm trying to remember things. No, this is going to be the Daffodil Delight panel here. Or I'm sorry, image. I take that back. When I'm working with a color like Berry Burst, which is pretty intense and it's going to stain, I don't like anything on my Misty, anything extra on my stamps, nothing like that. I apologize for being out of frame. I think that was the first time I tried my new tripod. I don't know, but I tried it once. I hate it. I'm going to have to go ceiling mount. So as you look, it's perfect. It lines up great. You want to clean that image off ASAP really well. Now we're going to go ahead and bring in the Daffodil Delight and line that up with everything. Once again, I have an arrow at the very top. You just gotta play with it, monkey around with it for a little bit. Get it down there straight. I like to use a pokey tool when I lay it down, just so my fingers won't accidentally pick it up. And I sneak them underneath the lid of my Misty tube, and you see me putting it down a couple times, just to make sure I'm still lined up. Because I'm in the home stretch now, and I'm not going to mess this up. So here is Daffodil Delight, and I'm just going to lay that on top. And I do that a lot. I use a piece of scratch paper just to make sure that I like the way that it looks. And the only bad thing about the Misty is that you can like see me looking my worst with that awful messy bun on top of my head, but keeping it real, folks. So I'm giving that a very, very good press. And we have prettiness. I'm trying to clean up as I go along too, because if I don't, it's going to be a disaster. This is where I also inked up my smoky slate. It just bubbled up on the stamp. You know how it goes, and that's why I had to switch out to MFT Cement Gray. So I did use their cardstock for the base, and I used the ink color for the base. Clear as mud. So I'm going to go ahead and get that inked up, and I think that's where I realize, yes, too many bubbles. There you go. And that's why I brought back in my scrap piece of paper. Even though it looks okay, it's too dark for what I was going after as well. This is when I really switched to MFT. So having that piece of scratch paper close by, just, this will get help. And you're going to see how much better this looks as I get it all the way down. Get that lifted up. I like that so much better because I have really beautiful, bright, vibrant colors, and I didn't want to tank that out by having this just dark colored base. So I put a little bit more on and got exactly what I wanted that time. So right now, Cindy is pretty happy. There is an image in that Thankful Life stamp set as well. There's several of them, but I'm going to grab one of them that's going to help me decorate up that vase a little bit. You can use anything to decorate that up. White gel pen, you name it. Sky's the limit. I decided to go ahead and ink that up with some Bermuda Bay ink to once again bring down those happy. Is that no? That's Tranquil Tide. Where is it? It's Bermuda Bay. That's my card base. It's not the MFT. It's Bermuda Bay. The MFT is going to be for my sentiment strips, but that is definitely Bermuda Bay that I stamped down there to keep it all happy. So I'm done with that. I'm going to let that set aside and dry just for a minute, even though it does really quick. And this, again, is for Papercraft Crew Sketch 244, which was a few weeks ago. I'm just super behind on videos. So to go along with that sketch, I went ahead and pulled out some of my favorite things. Die-namics. And these are called the homespun stitch lines. And so I just cut off with my tweezers the two that I wanted. They're actually connected, and I die cut them in. They won't cut the cardstock. They will just go ahead and leave that real nice accent on the side of our image. So I'm going to go ahead and do that with both sides. I've obviously stamped onto Whisper White cardstock, and I'm just going to line it up with the other side right now. Put my top plate on through and crank it. I've gotten a lot of questions about my magnetic platform, the bottom plate on the bottom, and that tape that you see. That is micropore. It just keeps my cutting pad even, straight on top, and one less thing to mess with. So now I have some great looking detail there. I'm going to zoom in, and I have a Sakura jelly roll in Silver Stardust, and I'm just going to take that all the way down, give it a little bit more shimmer, and pop in those dots. Now, one thing I've been doing a lot lately, and as I'm doing this voiceover, I am looking at the card. I've been using a lot of, see, cool shimmer, of the Stampin' Up! Shimmery white cardstock, which has that real subtle shimmer, and it's very cool. This one is Whisper White, so I went ahead and took that same Jelly Roll pen, because those Daffodil Delight leaves and flowers, they are small, so I wanted to add a little something to them as well. So there's not going to be a lot of bling on this card, and that's the only place where I really shine it up, so to speak, is with that Sakura Jelly Roll pen. As you can see, I'm kind of filming at a funky time of the day. I have no idea why I do that, but this is where I'm going to be sizing up my stamps from the iconic Occasions stamp set. This is now retired Hostess stamp set, but it fit perfectly with what I wanted to say in the card for the inside and outside. And it also coordinated great too with my favorite things, Die-namics interactive word rectangles. And I'm just going to stamp all those sentiments on to that MFT cement gray cardstock with some Versamark ink. I did use my embossing buddy before I did that. It's just a tool that's going to remove static from your hands and everything else. When I emboss, especially lettering, you must use an ultrafine white detail powder. That's a must. If you don't, your words are going to smudge together and you're not going to be able to make out something like an O. It's just going to look like a blob. And if you have any stragglers like that, just go ahead and grab a dry paintbrush, knock it off, or brush it off. Never hurts to go a second round, just in case. And heat that heat tool up big time. Let it get nice and hot. Always lift your cardstock up when you heat emboss. When you have it laying down on your desk, you're heating up your desk. We need to heat up the cardstock. Those are the MFT interactive word rectangles. The only downfall, there's 3 sizes, but they only cut on 3 sides. But since it is so straight, it's easy enough just to grab a pair of paper snips and snip off that one end, and you're going to get it perfectly straight every single time. So I'm just going to take all this through my Big Shot, and you can see there, especially on the left where it says just wanted to say hello, that's all I have to cut off. Other than that, I get a perfect frame. Referring back to my sketch again, and you're seeing at the top where I kind of subbed in my bouquet rather than Delightful Daisy. One thing I really wish I had done for the sketch is my sentiments I'm laying out now. I wish I would have laid them out wonky and crooked and everything. But I do have them staggered to where one is on foam squares and the other I just went ahead and put adhesive on. So I do have some dimension there. I'm just going to line everything up now with the T-ruler, at least make sure it's straight, but I wish I'd kind of tilted it here, there a little bit. It would have given it some more personality. And there we go. I think this is the point where I'm going to grab a block and set it aside, let it set up. Who knows? Again, this is 3 weeks ago. Aha, I can actually think ahead as to what I'm going to do. Found a little mark. I've talked about that fabulous eraser before. I love it. They came out with a new one too. That one's a sandy one. Now they have an eraser and sand combined. It's fabulous. You got to get it, $2.99. So that's set up now. I'm going to go ahead and make my card base. I'm adding just regular adhesive to the back. My card base is going to be made out of Bermuda Bay cardstock by Stampin Up. It's cut at 8.5. And it's scored right down the middle at 4.25, and it's going to be a top folding landscape card. And I flip it over back and forth like that because when I cut my cardstock, believe it or not, there is a right and wrong side to it, and I want the pretty side to show up. I have an 1/8 of an inch margin all the way around, and I'm going to pull out some clear sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. They are the 4, 6, and 8 millimeter size. I'm just going to set them up on my card front. See where they look real pretty. Adhere them down with glue dots or multi-matte medium, whatever I can, using the rule of 3s here. And then my card is going to be done. I just kept it very simple. I'm not sure if you're going to see the inside. You're going to see it, but make me see it. I'm not sure, but it'll be in the pictures towards the end. I love that little crystal katana ninja. Very inexpensive, fabulous investment, and here we go. That is my card. I'd like to thank you today for stopping by to visit me at cindybdesigns.com. Please hit like and subscribe and join us for the papercraftcrew.com with a new sketch coming out every Wednesday. Thank you so much again for everything. There's the inside. God bless. Have a fabulous day.